forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Carnival Monday night and your music truck shut down. What you gonna do? Jump start it, push start it, start, back, roll it! Head controllers caught in the beat. Midnight mass the children in the heat. Run to the darkness, live in the street. Grabbing the bumpers, dragging the feet. DJ putting rhythms together. 10-foot truck with 20-foot speaker. Rolling up the road to Savannah. Pulling the children like the Pied Piper.
Fucking get hot. energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
So as the song says, jump start it, push start it. But you know what? Just get it started. And that is what we're doing for you this morning, getting you started on a Thursday. The gateway to the weekend, it is here. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. Neighbors in the Caribbean, how are they doing? Are they here yet? Are they here yet? Our friends and our family who are streaming all around the globe, are they coming? Are they coming for the Carnival? Good morning to you, and of course, thank you so much for making us your choice, of choosing us. This is New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. The heartbeat of the Caribbean, and yes, we take you above and beyond each and every day. It's a real pleasure to be in your company. I want to say much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. Everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in your company. As we open the doorways to your Get Up and Go, we welcome everybody wherever you may be. This is your breakfast show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
My mic is off. Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Sir Charles, where you find that tune from?
Ah, boy, throwback Thursday, boy. Throwback Thursday.
Who was that anyway? Was that from a band? Was that from one of the bands?
Home Front.
Who?
Sorry, not Home Front, not Kindred. Sorry. Yeah, Kindred.
That's Omari Ashby and them, man.
Yeah, that is Omari, and that was the Kiskitty Caravan.
Yeah, sir, I hear this thing and I said, where Sir Charles find that tune from?
Yeah.
Wow. Omari probably surprised to hear.
He would probably be
surprised to hear that. But I don't think he plays it.
Yeah, from little Omari to where he's at right now.
Yeah. I follow him on Facebook.
He's probably granddad now.
Omari not easy with the comments sometimes with his posts.
Yeah.
Good to hear that tune, man. Good to hear that. Because just stand back. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but we hope that everybody who heard it got that same feeling like you did. You know what I mean? And realize, well, I can stand back to roll it.
Yeah, man. That tune true. Way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
That reminds me of a really good Juve morning I had with that, you know what I mean? And that is why I really love Juve, so because of the fact that, you know, being a DJ outside there for years, playing on in Juve. Juve was actually the better part of the Carnival for me for a long time, you know.
Right.
Yeah, until I reached 1 year where it had some fight and right by City Hall right there, and I was in Independence Street. and then I don't know what the man who wanted a beat or something run up on the truck. When let me see bottle. I had to hide. I had to knock on below speaker. Which I suppose about that bottle, you know, man. I don't know where people get all that, but what that man must do these people. That way you talk about bottle. That was the end of the job.
Which is one of the things, mind you, that I supported Louis Lee Singh on. That ban on glass bottles for the Carnival days. Mm-hmm. I had supported that. You understand? Yeah. Because my God, I have seen some things to happen. That's why I tell you, I stay away from those things. Because I get scared when I see those things. And all I said is children. Last year, because my family members run a bar. They ran one in Port of Spain on Q Place and one in St. James. And last year, right by the bar, there was a shooting. And that's where I think that made news because the guy was killed. And they shut down the mass one time in St. James last year. And there were children around. I'm saying, I could do without that kind of drama. You understand? So I kind of stay away. You know?
It has so many nice elements of the festival, but there's always that reality that anything can happen at any point in time. And when it does happen, it is really throw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
You know?
So Charles, I seen on the chat here though, that song was actually from Homefront. The first name you call it Ozzy Merrick, not Omari.
Well, I cannot correct myself because I thought so, but no, I have it as Kindred.
Okay, you have it. And Kindred is Omari and Kindred,
yeah,
right?
Homefront had another song on the
same rhythm.
Well, not really the rhythm, but the Kiss Kitty Caravan stuff. You know, I can't remember it directly offhand. I can pull it up, but yeah.
Well, Nicola, you had to go back and check your facts because she's saying it's Ozzy Merrick, not Omari.
No, well, unless he was part of the Kindred crew, but I think there was a time where I don't think it was Omari directly by himself at that point in time where it was Kindred. So it may have been he and
Akinde. David Wells is saying
Akinde, right? Omari and Akinde. Right, that is it. Omari and Akinde.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the combination there. But Homefront was a different group on the Kiss Kitty Caravan. Yeah.
Kiss Kitty Caravan was Robert Amara's thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I remember that too. I remember this guy. Oh Lord, he was the kind of leader. He was the kind of lead person in that Kiss Kitty Caravan. What's his name again? He used to sing reggae or
General Grant.
General Grant. That's the name I'm looking for. General Grant. He was the kind of lead person when Kiss Kitty Caravan came out. I remember that. Ooh, those were way back in the days, boy. General Grant. That's his name. Thank you. Yeah, all right. So I have some birthdays. Let me do birthdays. I don't know where Richard Ragobasing is. Probably knocking about.
I haven't seen him for the morning as yet.
Knocking about the streets of Arima. Hermione Ford. Today, of course, is January 22nd. Happy birthday, Hermione. Sharon Moore. Sean Singh. That's Sean from down in St. James. Derek Hamilton, my good friend. Avron Joseph. Veronica Plowden. Nigel Hernandez. Natalie Oliver. Valerie Sweeney de Boog. I remember her she used to listen to us back in the day. I don't know if she still joins us. Judith DeVitai, Valerie Ann Campbell Warren. Morning, Valerie Ann, and happy birthday. And Sharon Joseph. They are all celebrating birthdays today. And let me say a special good morning because he said he'd been searching for us for so long. I got his name, but it slipped me. But I think it's Marcel, the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture. He said he listened to us from way back in the day, since the days of Dr. Job. And he was trying to find us. So good morning. I told him how to find us. Right. You understand? So hopefully he is listening to us this morning. So good morning, sir. And thanks for rejoining the best show on radio. All right. And to any new listeners this morning, a special good morning to you, and of course to all our fans who have kept us here. Thanks for continuing to join the absolute best show on radio. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into good news, and then we come back and greet people on the chat.
Of course.
Hundreds of people in a town in Michigan formed a giant human chain to pass over 9,000 books down the line one by one until the last person carefully placed it on a new shelf. And it wasn't some kind of emergency response or a publicity stunt. This was just how the small town of Chelsea moved their beloved independent bookstore to a new location. When the owner of Serendipity Books, Michelle, announced that the store was moving one block over, people kept asking how they could help. She knew she could have hired movers to box everything up, but that would have taken several days and would have required even more time unpacking on the other end. So instead, she organized a neighborhood book brigade, inviting the community to come out and hand pass every book to the new shop. No boxes or trucks required. To her surprise, more than 300 volunteers aged 6 to 91 showed up, forming two lines stretching 350 feet to the new store. As the books traveled, people bonded over their favorite titles and chatted about the books they hadn't read yet, making new friends in the process. And every time a new shelf was filled, the entire crowd would erupt in cheers. The book brigade was able to keep all of the books in the correct order, and they got it all done in under 2 hours. For this small town, it wasn't just about moving inventory. It was a reminder of what community really is. I'm Jen, and I post something positive every day.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Well, what town was that?
I'm not sure. I didn't really get the name of the song. But you know, some of these small towns and communities are so well knitted together. Yeah. I'm sure that whole feeling of camaraderie and family is a really big thing in that area.
Yeah, I would imagine. Anyway, let's go straight to the chat. Today, of course, our guest in the second hour, we'll be talking ZOSO and other issues with former Minister of National Security, former Commissioner of Police, former advisor, Gary Griffith, you know. We'll be speaking with him in the second hour, right? But we still have karaoke and Miss Mendoza, who came in very first this morning and said she's going to try her hand at karaoke. Well, it's karaoke, yeah, Miss Mendoza. Karaoke. All right. So good morning to Miss Mendoza. Good morning, Faraya Hayatali. Hey, you're up early. Morning to Eunice Dublin. Also, Ava Smith, Wendy Ann, and Frank James. The weekend starts at midnight. You.
All right, Wendy Ann. So right.
She's rhythm and rhyming today. Margaret Thomas. Brennan Smith out there in Goodwood, Tobago, Marlon Motley in North Valsayn, Kenny in Harlem, Diane Payne, Maria Cellier, Erica Charles, Trini, that's Kurt out in Nashville, Tennessee, Carol Guevara in Chaguanas, Boy BDC in Davie, Trini Merle Kitchen in Oshawa, Ontario, Gavin Frank in Powder Magazine, Robert Taylor in Fernandina Beach, Florida, Debbie Modeste, Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr out there in Arima, Carla Hercules, CJ from New York, sending love and positive vibes. Nicola McNichols says good morning. Ron DeSantis Jr. in Norfolk, Virginia. He wants to know Fantastic Friday finalists in Carnival Rookie or karaoke, singing one verse and chorus. Yes, it's one verse and chorus. One verse and a chorus. Sherma Paul says good morning. David West, Kindred Rosomari and Akinde. Morning all. Slick Money Grip says good morning. Kathy Ann Charles and Arlene in Bronxville, Texas. Helen Prescott, Alistair Hart out there in San Fernando. It's confirmed it was General Grant. Nicola is saying she was with Homefront for a short while, and that song Roll It. It is from Homefront.
All right, okay. Well, I don't know. I have it as Kindred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you know, so.
It's local. Good morning, all from Ian Stewart. Wendy Ann James says yesterday in Desert Rats Monday night mass in Bonjour, a foreigner's gold chain was stolen. Yesterday ago, okay, some years ago, I guess. In Desert Rats Monday night mass in Bonjour, a foreigner's gold chain was stolen and he was killed. Well made, finished, and all had to go home. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, Juve and things, somehow or the other, it escalates and it's a hysteria. Yes, Kindred and Homefront and many others were from Kiskidi Caravan, so says Nicola. Miguel Gonzalez, good morning. Joyce Phillip, Dave Gosine, Manuela Peters, Law Rondon, that's a new name. It was in Chelsea, Michigan. Okay, that's the video you showed, Sir Charles. The good news. It was in Chelsea, Michigan. Thanks for that, Law Rondon. Bernadette and Nelicia Yates, Deborah Noel Surrett, David McCarthy, Richard M. Jeremiah, Estelita Sampson. My declared winner. Miss Sampson again, I'm in trouble yesterday. People buffed me for singing along with you. I really didn't know I was coming through on the mic. Margarita Chow.
Oh, please.
Hey, look at him. Hear him. Yeah? What were you saying, yeah?
Coming in slow like ice cream.
Yeah, Sir Charles. He didn't know he was coming across.
No,
And
I was basically singing under my breath, you know.
Oh, Lord.
I was kind of shocked.
Well, I remember to mute the microphone.
I was just blown away by Miss Sampson singing.
Now you're trying to aggravate the people that call you.
If you don't love people like Miss Sampson, you go love. These are loving done. I give up on love. Morning, Prabha Ramdial also. I give up. I give up. I try my best. I give it over all, and that's it. Anyway, morning, Richard.
Good morning, guys. Good morning to listeners and viewers across the planet.
All right.
Yeah.
You finished with the greetings here, Will?
Yeah, I finished with my greetings here.
Let me just say good morning to Kent in Laventel, to Sankofa, good morning. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada. And condolences to Archbishop Ashton Clark. You have a relative that passed away. And, good morning to Terry Ann Peters. Mr. Bealey, good morning to you in Powder Magazine people. Frank out there in Aruka. Sina up there in Arima. Carlin and Kelly coming out of Carenage. Peter Wilson, good morning. Alista Hart, good morning to you. Rena Budu Jennings, good morning. And Charmaine out there in New York, good morning to you. Good morning to the Gael family. And good morning to you, Richard.
All right. Well, we'll go for a break now. When we come back, I want to raise a couple issues, including what Justice Frank Sipasad had to say about police. Let's go for that break.
All right, cool.
Hey, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. So you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival karaoke. Carnival karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
This carnival, the seas are calling. Production Sounds and Ace Limers Entertainment presents Foreign Exchange. Foreign Exchange. A carnival season boat ride like no other.
I wanna be somewhere where the music is.
Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Hearts Cut, Chakaramos.
Step aboard the Ocean Pelican and experience where soca meets the open water.
Boarding 7 p.m. Sailing 8 p.m. Music by Production Sounds. DOC. Kevin Baker. Beats by Robin, Young Pro, and Bounty the Voice. DJ Eldon. And featuring International Steven. All the way from the U.S.
Tier 1 tickets, $250. Tier 2 tickets, $300. Cooler included. No glass bottles allowed. Get your tickets now at islandetickets.com or call 29218-4747.
Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Hearts Cut, Chakaramos. Foreign Exchange.
With your bad energy.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Let me also say good morning to Julia Samantha, Beauty Culture, and Trinidad Margot. Carol Guevara, like you doze off for a little while there. You missed good news? She asking if no good news today. You must be dozing off.
I don't know why he's driving so slow.
I don't know why either. You want to drive fast? That's your business?
No. And aggravating. It's like...
And you're in the right lane, ain't?
Huh?
I tell you, there are people like that, you know, and they don't move. They do not move. I don't know why. They are driving at 60, 50, and they're in the right lane, going all the way down the highway. Nothing annoys me more than that. But say what? I get accustomed to it now.
Just before we go into the news, Wendell, I pulled up the song and I have it both my home front and also my kindred. So I have some verification on that, yeah.
Okay, but it's possible both groups sang it, you know.
What song is this?
Rolling.
Roll it.
Oh, okay.
You got to start back rolling. If I beat Don Russell. Anyhow. Yeah,
anyway, today
play it for you, remember. But
yeah, let's get straight into the headlines. All eyes on independent senators. Those are one of the trending stories in today's Express Online as they vote today. I think it's today. 16 migrants held in minibus leaving Maracas Bay. My God. Looking for scraps. That's cricket, I think. And what another disgraceful performance by the West Indies yesterday. Kishore meets minister, receives his award. Some other trending stories, of course. Can 90% of gangs are from African diaspora, so says Israel Khan. Woman found knife to death near Etihad grounds. 18 minutes of freedom for SKP. Häagen-Dazs closes Energy Plaza outlet after 22 years. Housewife survives daylight home invasion in Penal. Those are all the trending stories in today's Express Online.
All right. So let me do the Guardian and you do the news there afterward. All right.
Oh,
so in the Guardian this morning, Beckles warns gas hikes will drive up electricity costs, and that is Mrs. Penelope Beckles. And also, ATS warns ZOSOs could stigmatize communities. Defense Minister ZOSOs won't be in place for more than 5 years. Whenever is a guarantee for that in the bill? I didn't see that. Criminal defense attorney urges more disclosure on ZOSO plan. And pregnant woman killed in Aruka. Doctors unable to save baby during emergency operation. Imagine what really went on there. Ultimate Soca Champion competition shelved due to funding woes. So there'll be no Soca Champion this year. Son charged in death of Barrackpore man. And man killed by gunmen in third attempt on his life. Wow. They really wanted to get him. Yeah.
All right. The news there. Inmate recaptured in Port of Spain. MV Blue Wave Harmony arrives January 22nd. Sober's high-level delegation from UAE on the way. Man in court on 25 counts of motor larceny.
That is something else.
Islam's PM on reckless attack on the president. 115 police constables motion challenge dismissed by the High Court. Pregnant woman shot dead. TTPS promotes 9 senior officers. And so long and thanks for all the fish. Those are trending stories in today's news day. All right. So the story I wanted to read is a story by that came out yesterday and I quote, "You cannot lock up people because you're vexed with them. Judge renews call for law reform to make police pay for unlawful arrests. A High Court judge has again called for legislative reform to ensure police officers who unlawfully arrest citizens are held personally accountable rather than allowing taxpayers to bear the cost of court-awarded damages." Justice Frank C. Prasad made the remarks on January 20th after ruling that a Special Reserve police officer acted maliciously and outside the rule of law during the arrest and prosecution of a Sangre Grande businessman in 2019. The ruling arose from a civil claim brought by Jawanza Simmons of Guayco against the Attorney General and Special Reserve Constable Cleon Smith, stemming from an incident outside the shops of Kunapo on November 20th, 2019. According to evidence accepted by the court, Simmons was standing on the pavement smoking a cigarette and speaking with his brother around 10:30 a.m. when Smith approached and ordered him to discard the cigarette. When Simmons asked for an explanation, the officer allegedly slapped the cigarette from his hand, demanding his name and address, and refused to explain whether Simmons was suspected of any offense. Simmons testified that he was then pushed against a wall, searched and arrested without the officer identifying himself or displaying a badge. He was handcuffed, placed in a marked police vehicle and taken towards the Sangre Grande police station. During the journey, Simmons said he was punched in the stomach and verbally abused. He was later informed he had been arrested for disorderly conduct. He was He was detained in what he described as a squalid cell for approximately 12 hours without being allowed to contact anyone before being charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Simmons was later granted bail and pleaded not guilty. The charges were eventually dismissed after the officer failed to attend court. At the High Court hearing, Justice C. Prasad refused a request by the state for an adjournment after attorneys indicated they were unable to contact Smith. The judge criticized the officer's repeated failure to appear in court or cooperate with legal proceedings, describing such conduct as intolerable and unacceptable. In delivering his ruling, C. Prasad said there was no lawful basis for the officer's initial directive regarding the cigarette and no reasonable grounds to suspect Simmons of any criminal conduct. He rejected the justification for both the disorderly conduct and resisting arrest charges, describing the officer's actions as arbitrary and rooted in malice. Now, why I read that, I was listening to the news, watching the news last night, and I listened just in part, I don't know if Sir Charles could find it or Richard could find it, the contribution of the first blind independent senator we have in the parliament, We interviewed her on this program. Miss Lalit, I think is her name.
Yeah.
We interviewed her. I was listening in part to her, what she said about an experience she had, because her concern is police abuse with the ZOSO, right? And she raised an issue of when she was dropped off by the parliament by her husband. And he was approached by a police officer. I'm giving my version. I'm interpreting what she said, but it's there on the record, right? And the policeman approached her husband, I guess, and said, "You can't be here. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here." So he said, "Well, I have a parliament pass." So where you get a parliament pass from? You understand? And the way he was speaking, I'm interpreting what Miss Lalit was saying to her husband, and said, "Well, senator's not above the law." Something towards that effect. And I said, and you could see the hurt in Senator Lalit. You understand? She said she reported it to the parliament, the Senate and so on. And they're supposed to take action. But really and truly, she was pointing towards the abuse of police officers. And somehow or the other, 99% of them just don't know how to speak to people. And they take this stance that, so who is you? So a senator can't be charged, a senator can't be wrong. That was what Miss Lalit was saying. An independent senator. Imagine somebody who's sitting in the parliament being treated that way. And we would have heard stories like this before. What it is about the police that they just can't learn? Well, I don't know. And we're going to entrust them with these type of powers now? No. So that was the point she was making. And that was the point Justice Sipasad is making here. Where it's time the police officers themselves start paying a price. And if that, I bet you the attitude change when they know they are held personally responsible at the end of the day. Because it's the state pays, when they do the stupidness. It's the state pays, They don't lose a thing.
No, and they know that too. That is why they don't go to court. They don't appear, and there's no consequence apparently for that because
sometimes, Sir Charles, they don't appear because there is no case.
True.
They knew it was vindictive. They knew it was from a vindictive place. They know there is absolutely no proper evidence to make a case, but they have made one already.
Right.
And so they absent themselves from the court so that the matter eventually gets dismissed.
True. That's exactly what happens.
Right. And that is why, when we talk with Gary, we could probably ask him that in the next hour, because in a situation like that, okay, so the state pays, you trump up charges on somebody, the person has to go through a whole lot of headache to clear their name and all those different kinds of things. And you just don't go to court, contempt of court. But what happens to that officer after that? Is that contempt passed on to the Commissioner of Police? Is there any directive or anything that takes place where that is concerned? And the probably short answer is no.
None. They pay no price. None.
Well, I mean, Independent Senator Drayton, I think is his name. He had indicated, kind of related to that, what Wendell is saying, and to what Senator Lalit would have said with regard to the possible abuse. The data is there. Police killings ramped up in those zones in Jamaica. So the data is there. So you could see what happened, and obviously there's going to be a certain amount of as Wendell says, some of those police officers don't know they have no sense of customer service training, and so they're going to speak to you in a particular way, and these hotspot areas that are likely to be affected by these zones are already stigmatized on a certain level. I heard Senator Atts talking about the stigmatization of those kinds of areas with regard to employers and where you live, and you employers knowing where you live can contribute to that stigmatization. That happens already.
Yeah.
That happens already. So all of that is going to be, but of course it's all in the, some people are prepared to accept all of that because they say, you know, it's fighting crime and that's what you need. But Senator Lilith also brought up was the issue of, connected to what you were saying, Wendell, that if you have somebody who is deaf and also can't speak and blind, and they are, and they come with certain obvious limitations because of their physical limitations, and they would respond to police in a different way. So for example, if it's somebody going to get gas and they are, let's say, hearing impaired, and the police are behind them shouting, "Stop." But they not obviously can't hear, so they're proceeding. What happens?
Yes.
Because you remember, these are people in their home environments, so this is different to a roadblock, you know, like on a highway and stuff like that. So she brought up that example in the Senate yesterday, and she was saying, I'm not so sure what kind of amendment she was suggesting. I know Senator Drayton was also suggesting the sunset clause, that it needed a sunset clause. So that it could be reviewed and you could see whether it made any difference after 2 years or 3 years, whatever your sunset clause timeline is. So all of those come back to checks and balances on the law, basically.
Yeah.
I know Michael de Labastide also, he was very clear in how he criticized the Prime Minister for what she called independent senators, but he did it in a very intelligent way,
diplomatic way.
Yeah. So I don't know if you all saw that too.
No, I missed that.
Yeah. So I'll see if I find that clip and show it later on if there's anything. But yeah, so that's some of what is going on in the debate in the Senate with regard to that ZOSO bill, which, you know, we'll see what happens, and we'll see whether it's passed or not.
It will be very interesting the direction it goes today with the vote. You understand? It'll be very.
But I think they resume on Friday, not so?
It's Friday or tomorrow? Or today? I think. Based on what I read in the headlines, it says the decision is being made today. Based on what I read.
Oh, is it today?
Well,
I thought they were resuming on Friday, so maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. Well, you know my position. I don't think it should be passed. I just think it's going to create more problems than solve anything. Because it's the same police service. The police service doesn't dramatically get better because of a state of emergency. They potentially become more abusive. Potentially.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's do our Did You Know segment, and we will be back, people, so don't go anywhere.
These foods didn't always look the way they do today. In fact, some of them used to be a completely different color, and you'd barely recognize them. Let's count them down. Number 5, tomatoes. Tomatoes weren't always red. The first tomatoes brought to Europe were yellow, which is why they were called golden apples. People thought red tomatoes were dangerous, so they avoided them for years. Today, red tomatoes are everywhere, but yellow came first. Number 4, corn. Ancient corn wasn't bright yellow at all. It came in purple, blue, red, black, and white. Over time, farmers selected yellow corn because it grew faster and looked more appealing. What you see today is just one color out of dozens that once existed. Number 3, eggplants. Eggplants weren't always deep purple. The original ones were white, green, and even striped. The purple color became popular because it signaled ripeness and better taste. But the name eggplant actually comes from its original white color. Number 2, carrots. Carrots were not orange. They were purple, white, yellow, and even black. The orange carrot was created in the Netherlands to honor the royal family. That version became so popular it completely replaced the others. Number 1. Bananas. Early bananas weren't bright yellow. They were green, red, and even blue tinted. Modern bananas were selectively bred to look more appealing and taste sweeter. The banana you eat today is not nature's original design. These foods didn't just change taste. Humans literally changed their color.
Now you know. Wow.
Interesting.
Always
All right,
interesting.
well, we could go straight into the phone lines. As I said, when we speak with Gary in the second hour, we're gonna raise that. We're gonna raise some of these issues. I know he's gonna defend it. I could tell you already what he's gonna say, but who knows? Maybe he's changed.
Ah,
Gary, if you listen, I know you're coming to defend the TTPS, but you're seeing where it all pointing to, right? And if Justice Frank C. Prasad could give us stinging condemnation like that, and it's not the first time a judge would have had to raise an issue like that, eh? It's time the police, the errant police officers pay. That's all. And that'll be the basis of our poll today. Yes, sir? Do you think that police officers should...
Give us a call. The lines are open to you. 2811315 or 2995156, right? You can call us now. The lines are open. And they're very clear. So you can get it on the show.
All right. Right, I type up the poll. We could take the
call.
call.
We have a call coming in there.
All right.
Yeah. Mr. Billy. Hey. Mr. Billy, jump in and jump out. All right. No. Let's see, it's coming back inside here. I hope it is not me. Right. Good morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center.
Virginia.
Yesterday, hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah. I just about ready, man, to win the crown, okay? So all other competitors didn't bother to enter, okay? Anyway, just yesterday's question was a really good question. And I see that you get an overwhelming response, but just to let you know, I put it in the chat, but maybe, guys were kind of busy. But Benjamin Franklin had a quote that stands out, and he said that those who give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. And I think Jefferson also had a really good one too. So yeah, I think that the people, but it seems that certain powers really sometimes abuse that situation and put it under the banner of well, it's all for your security or national security. It's more like collective security as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, gentlemen, you all have a great day.
Ron, I see you asking in the chat too if Justice Michael De Lavastide is still alive. No, he's not. This is a different De Lavastide. Who's in the Senate? It's a different De Lavastide.
Oh, in the Senate. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Right. I was mistaken the two, but thanks for reminding me. Okay. It's not that De Lavastide you're talking about.
That De Lavastide.
Thanks again. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. That had me a little confused too, the De Lavastide situation. I was wondering.
No, it's a different.
Oh, you don't know your independent senators, Charles?
No, I don't know that one.
Didn't I put the pictures in the chat? I think I put all 9 pictures in the chat one day.
Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Oh yes, good morning to the breakfast show. Very eager to get on this morning. I want to congratulate most of the people who made contribution to this bill, this zone bill that is being debated, and I want to especially the independent senators. There's a guy they call, I think his Senator Readiness. His songs to me, he's come across to me like he have Jamaican. I don't know, he speaks like a Jamaican. Right?
He was just sitting in there. He's a temporary one, eh?
He's a temporary senator.
He's a temporary independent senator. Yes.
But he was really, really good at what he said. And even my wife and all know telling me in the house there that they have to put things in place, and I'm glad that they going to do some amendments and we reassign the color as the good attorney there say. Because what is happening, we are seeing experiences of yesterday. Why is this goodly senator and the independent bench, the impaired one, coming to Parliament, a rogue police, he had to be a rogue police to be sent out. I'm asking the driver, the husband, where you going to Parliament for? These people are destroying everything the good government or whoever wants to do. They have to deal with him. And I will be interested to hear what my former colleagues say when he comes on in the next hour, because this is unacceptable behavior. I went to a graduation, a passing out with some police officers, one living in my community, and the next one from Tobago, one of my former colleagues. And one of the things I told them is to treat people good, because we have not seen, when you have, when you know that personally, I was in defense for 30 years, right? And having this gun on here and along your shoulder, it just gives you a sense of power. But you cannot use to abuse these citizens. And these laws that they bring in, we know crime is out of control in our country. And we want to see the best way, but not to get the police to be abusing the people. So I am saying, go and make amendments and do things that the police will have that kind of way to deal with the people how we see being played out in the society. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And whilst we have our issues here, I don't know, it's a worldwide problem, especially with police officers. I don't know if people watch foreign news and see what happens abroad to it. I don't know what happens with you're given
jumping in uniform.
That's what happens,
Is it jumping uniform?
Yeah, a jumpy with the star.
You know what it is, Wendell. It's a strange. Human beings are kind of strange that way, in that, and not all, but a huge percentage, that when they have power in whatever capacity, their attitude changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you could see it so police officers are an obvious mark because they have a certain amount of power, and depending on their personality, their attitudes will change. Their attitude to how they speak to you, and you could see it in other people. It happens with politicians too. Politicians are one way when they're not in power. Look at the opposition bench. The opposition is a particular way now in how they speak with you and speak with the media than when they're in government.
True.
It's nuanced, but you can see it. So they will speak to you in a particular way when they're not in power, but when they're in power, they speak in another way. You're seeing it now with the current government, who were in opposition for years. You could speak to them in a particular way when they were not in government, but now that they're in government, you could see that there is an attitudinal change in how they speak, and that comes back to when people sit in Parliament and the laws they make. And when I said yesterday, it seems as if the 41 of them sometimes get detached to the reality on the ground, and it's connected to that. And it's it really takes a strong sense of who you are not to change when afforded power.
True. But Richard, that has to be in you,
But that's what I said. That's what I just said. It has to be you have to have a strong sense of who you are.
Yes.
And to be that kind of centered person, to not change when you have that kind of power. It also holds for celebrities too, huh?
Yeah.
Because you could see some celebrities would change.
Yes. True.
And so it's a thing that it's like anyway, but it's
power. People are power.
How people change depending on where they are, and because you sit in the corridors of power, you can see it with the Prime Minister right now.
Yeah,
you can see it.
1 minute, Richard. Good morning, Ms. Sampson.
Good morning, gentlemen. You know why they behave so too?
Why is
the
that?
police get to go home with pay. So what the hell? I can do this. And I could do that. I could go home and sit down and get paid. Anyhow, Richard, when you have Charles, when you have time, could you play the song that I was supposed to sing first? I plead the fifth. Not today, no, anytime you're free. Have a good day, you guys.
All right.
Okay.
There's this young man I remember when going to church back in the day. He was a very nice, decent, approachable, friendly Christian young man. You understand? I mean, he was the epitome of what a good Christian should be like. And so he used to approach everybody in the church, friendly, everything, smiling, laughing, everything. And he joined the TTPS. I didn't know he joined the TTPS until a day I saw him in Port of Spain in full uniform. And he pretended like he didn't see me, you know. He was like a little beast in tongue. The same boy from church, you know. He just changed. And I said, wow, what a difference.
Even Christ couldn't save him, eh?
Christ couldn't save him then. I know that for sure. I know that. And there are a lot of people who are Christians in the TTPS, eh? Who go to church on a regular basis, who pray a lot and so on, eh? I don't know how they make out, you know.
Well, good morning to you.
Morning, Charles, Richard.
Morning.
Wendell.
Good morning.
I must say, concerning the behavior of the members of the protective services, I say protective services, inclusive of fire and everybody else, also the police. I was one of the original members of the Transit Police Unit, which was formed in 2005. And back then, they brought in a lady by the name of Alma Thompson, and they gave us customer service. They brought in her to do customer service to the officers, so that when people approach us, we will know how to speak with the people, how to treat with the public. Because people, when they have an issue, you know, sometimes a loved one comes into the police service with a problem, they does get robbed or something happens to that nature. You don't want the person to feel worse than the situation. So you have to know how to treat with the person, how to speak to them. Right? First, you have to put them to sit down, make sure they're comfortable before you start to speak to them, because remember, they are traumatized. Right? I don't know if the service now have that on the program, if they have customer service. Because Alma Thompson, I don't know, I haven't heard about her a while now. But she used to do that. She used to come into the service and do that first. So I don't know, Richard, maybe you could shed some light. I don't know if that is still there, but I believe the police officers need a lot of customer service, right? They need a lot of customer service. I could give you one instance some years ago when the former commissioner, Stephen Williams, he was the commissioner and he was to go, some information I received, he was to go, I think he was leaving the country, and he went in the police stations to lodge his firearms. And when he went into the station with his wife, he met a WPC on the phone having a conversation, right? And the conversation wasn't anything to do with the job. It was more in a personal capacity. And he was just standing waiting. And she didn't recognize that was the commissioner. And when he turned and he asked her, excuse me, her reply to him was, wait, I didn't see on the phone. That time,
I think I remember that story.
That time, my good friend, Mr. Dawkins, what they call Patchagray, he was the acting inspector of that station. I didn't call his station. And he was coming down the corridor same time. He and Mr. Williams, apparently, they are batchmates. And when Mr. Williams saw him coming, he shouted, a batch was going on. That's the only time the officer decided to jump to the attention. He had to ask her, when he heard the information, you know, they had some almanacs, some calendars with the police in the uniform, and he pointed her picture on the calendar and asked her, do you recognize this person? She didn't know the commissioner was standing there speaking to her, and she was on the phone carrying on her own conversation. You understand? So he turned and he tell Patchagray, if you wasn't my batch, I'd have transferred you. He said, here what's going on? He wanted to see the lady, have a come down in his office. I think there's mention of customer service cost eventually for that 18,000 police. That's when the 18,000 batch should now come out. So, we need to know how to treat with the public. People come to the station with many different issues. And you have to make sure that you put the person in a right frame of mind in order for you to take the report from the individual. You cannot traumatize the person more than they already went through when they approach your area. Anyway, gentlemen,
thanks very much.
Thanks for that information, caller. Because former Commissioner Stephen Williams is such how should I put it? His personality also too. He's a kind of quiet personality. If you all ever met him. You understand?
Yeah, he is.
Quiet, easygoing personality. So I could imagine how he felt that day. It happened to former Minister of National Security, Martin Joseph, to in a police station also. Imagine you picked you up there and he went to use, it was a carnival time, and I think he went in there to use the gents. And brother man, the kind of thing they tell that man, I can't repeat it.
And you went that poll.
Yes, our poll is up, people. Do you think police officers should be held personally responsible for failed criminal charges? Yes or no? All right, Justice Frank C. Prasad feels that they should. What do you think? Get your opinion and we'll count your votes after the news.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV for Thursday, the 22nd of January. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Energy and Energy Industries Minister Dr. Rudal Munalal says he will attend India Energy Week next week, following Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissesar's decision to boycott the Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference. Munalal is a confirmed speaker at the 4-day global event in Goa, where he says he will promote Trinidad and Tobago as a destination for foreign investment in oil and gas, particularly as local production continues to decline. He backed the Prime Minister's stance, citing government concerns over the STOW certification system, which he said unfairly burdens small local contractors and restricts access to the energy sector. Munawal added that the state will not participate in the local energy conference unless there is fundamental reform of current arrangements. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has refused a Freedom of Information request seeking a clear list of traffic offenses affected by recently increased fines, despite widespread public confusion. The request asked for a simple breakdown showing each offense, the old fine, the new fine, and the legal reference. Instead, the ministry said the information was already publicly available in the Gazette and the Digital Legislative Library. However, the legal notices list only item numbers and fines, forcing motorists to cross-reference multiple laws to understand what applies. Opposition Senator Dr. Amory Brown criticized the lack of clear communication in the Senate, calling it an unmitigated disaster that has fueled suspicion among the public. Transport Minister Eli Zakor has said the higher fines were based on enforcement data, showing serious indiscipline on the nation's roads. President of the Criminal Bar Association, Israel Khan, SC, says Trinidad and Tobago can benefit from the proposed Zones of Special Operations legislation and has urged independent senators to support it. Khan said the country is under siege by criminals and argued the bill targets criminal activity, not communities or races. He dismissed claims of discrimination, saying ZOSOs focus on crime hotspots. Assembly of Southern Lawyers President Syra Lacan said crime in Trinidad and Tobago is concentrated in specific areas linked to gangs, drugs, and firearms trafficking. She supports the bill, but stressed it must include time limits, transparency, community engagement, and strong oversight. Senior counsel John Heath urged caution, warning that like states of emergency, ZOSOs risk detaining people without sufficient evidence. He said while government must try new approaches, citizens' rights must not be trampled. As fighting moves closer to camps holding Trinidad and Tobago nationals in northeast Syria, messages circulating online describe growing fear and worsening conditions. In a voice note, a Trinidad and Tobago national says electricity has been cut after generators paid for by residents were removed, leaving families without power, heat, or reliable communication. The speaker warns the fighting is close and says many have lost hope of rescue. Relatives in Trinidad and Tobago say the situation is dire, especially with winter conditions, and reports that control of the camps may be shifting from the Syrian Democratic Forces to the Syrian government. Families believe this change could open the door to diplomatic engagement and repatriation, but say they have received no official response from local authorities up to press time. A man accused of a series of vehicle thefts has been denied bail after appearing before the High Court this week. Caron Delicia, also known as Takbir and Greedy, appeared before Master Ria Liebert at the Chaguanas Masters Court on Monday and Tuesday, charged with 25 counts of motor vehicle larceny. The charges stem from 24 incidents in 2025 and 1 in 2026, all reported within the Central Division. Delicia was not required to plead and was remanded in custody. The case has been adjourned to June 2nd, 2026. Police said the arrest followed extensive investigations by the Chaguanas CID, coordinated by senior officers, with the Commissioner of Police praising the work that led to the charges. In international news, Iranian state television has released its first official death toll from recent nationwide protests, saying 3,117 people were killed during demonstrations that began in late December. Authorities claimed 2,427 of the dead were civilians and security forces, while blaming what they described as terrorists for the violence. Human rights groups based outside Iran estimate the death toll is significantly higher, at more than 4,500, though this cannot be independently verified. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi issued his strongest warning yet to the United States, saying Iran would fire back with everything we have if attacked again. His comments come amid growing U.S. military movements toward the Middle East, raising fears of wider regional escalation. And that's the main stories in the news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Hey you, yes you, I'm talking to you, so you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival karaoke. Carnival karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival karaoke on the breakfast show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the breakfast show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival karaoke on the breakfast show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio.
Of course, when we come off of the Gael feed, remember you can pick us up all day and every day at newerattradio.com. Great programming for you. And of course, you can also get us on TuneIn, New Era TT Radio. Put it in your browser. Get us there. All right? Of course, do support our Facebook, YouTube channels. Like, subscribe, follow. Very important. Thank you very much. And of course, you can support by donating to keep the channel up and running. You can also advertise with us here, which is what we want to do for you small businesses, independent individuals. Come on, advertise with us. We will get your message out there. So, a morning poll: do you think that police officers should be held personally responsible for failed criminal charges? All right? So you're voting yes, you're voting no. And we will tell you how you voted when we come back. All right? So stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
This carnival, the seas are calling.
Production Sounds and Ace Limers Entertainment presents Foreign Exchange.
Foreign Exchange. A carnival season boat ride like no other.
I wanna be somewhere where the music is.
Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Hearts Cut, Shakarama.
Step aboard the Ocean Pelican and experience where soca meets the open water.
Boarding 7 p.m. Sailing 8 p.m. Music by Production Sounds. ZOSO. Kevin Baker. Beats by Robin, Young Pro, and Bounty the Voice. DJ Eldon. And featuring International Steven. All the way from the U.S.
Tier 1 tickets, $250. Tier 2 tickets, $300. Cooler included. No glass bottles allowed. Get your tickets now at islandetickets.com or call 29218-4747.
Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Hearts Cut, Shakaramas. Foreign Exchange.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
We are back after the 7 o'clock news. Of course, we'll quickly go through the poll because we have our guests and then we have to cut off our guests to do the karaoke. All right. Do you think police officers should be held personally responsible for failed criminal charges? And this question, of course, would have come out of all the experiences and certainly of the recent judgment by Justice Frank C. Prasad, where he made his comments just 2 days ago. All right. So who's writing?
I am. I don't think we're sharing.
Oh, I thought you had gone already. I thought you had gone. Sorry.
I still here.
All right. So let's start. Miguel Gonzalez. Oh Lord, he said the worst thing on earth is a Christian police officer. Miguel, if you're not in the front row of the class, you need to go right there and sit. All right. Gregory Boyer says yes. A lot of chat here. Miguel, all right, so Miguel is CJ, yes. Rena Buru Jennings, yes. Deborah Noel Surrett, yes. Ila Rizan, yes. Ron DeSantis, yes. Kazim Mohammed, yes. David McCarthy, yes. Colton Finch, yes. Cheryl Henry, yes. 100. Marlon Motley, yes, definitely. Ava Smith, yes. Boy Bidesi, yes. Ozzy Molino, yes. Doreen Pierre didn't vote. Avion Abraham, yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Beauty Culture, yes. Dave Gosine, yes. Helen Prescott, yes. Kenny and Harlem, yes. Brennan Smith, yes, yes, yes. Carol Guevara, yes. Bernadette Yates, yes. Where are we? A lot of chat. Nicola McNichols votes yes. There. Robert Taylor, yes. Only on Derek case this morning. Marva Williams didn't vote. Robert Allen says yes. Apollonius, yes. Slick Money Grip, yes. Alistair Hart, yes. Jason Samuel, yes. To legislative reform to hold police accountable for unlawful arrest. D-Mark, yes. Ian Stewart, yes. Bridget Buchanan, yes. Andre PH, yes. Richard is asking a question here. Richard, do judges give warrants for police officers to show up in court? So Richard will answer that, I'm sure, when he's ready. Magic says yes. Annalie Johnson, yes. Miguel Gonzalez finally votes yes. Valerie Mendoza, yes. Wayne Joseph, yes. Margaret Thomas didn't vote. Diane Payne, yes. Trini Merle Kitchen, yes. And Gemma Peters Hall also voted yes. All right. James Kamau also came in just now with a yes. So you go to Charles.
All right. So let me tell you what we got on the WhatsApp so far. Let's scroll back down here a little bit. Bear with me, people. Right. So we had Judith in Tobago saying yes. Miss Sampson saying yes. Afria saying yes. Mr. Billy saying yes. Peter Wilson saying yes. Sean Ram saying yes. Pauline saying yes. Joanne saying yes. Vincent Ashton didn't vote. Zena saying yes. Brenda saying yes.
All right, and Edwin Joseph also saying yes. Well, I think that's a 100% yes vote today again, right? Well, we had a 200% no votes. We have a 100% yes vote today.
Yeah, for the last couple of days, we had 100% on all the things.
On all the things we
so
polled.
I wonder what is going on there with the poll. Anyway,
well, we get,
you know, with regard to that poll, I am not absolutely in favor of them solely being responsible. I also think the state should be partially responsible too, because you're agent of the state. And even though I think the police officers should be held responsible in some way, I want the state to be still part of it too. You know why? Because I want those citizens to get money. And if it is that idiotic policeman, I have no money, you're getting nothing.
Okay.
You get zero. So I want the state still to be there too.
So the state must pay like 70%?
But however they work it out, but I want the state to be there too, because I want the citizen to get something for the inconvenience that they would have gone through, because sometimes there's years a case going on,
Yeah.
Before you are exonerated and it's said that it's malicious. That case that Frank C. Prasad adjudicated upon, that didn't just come up,
No, it's 2019.
So for all of that, you have that anxiety of that issue hanging over you. And you hold only the police officer responsible, and they say, all I have is $300 in my account. How that helping you?
I agree, Richard. That's true. Because the judge actually awarded this guy $75,000 in compensatory damages, $25,000 in exemplary damages, along with legal costs. So you're right. And I don't know that a police officer could pay that. They had to sell everything.
So the police officer should be there too. But and however the TTPS deals with the police officer as a result of the money that they have to pay, then fine.
Yes.
And it should and part of it is maybe it should come out of the police, the TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service should pay the money. Right, because what happens is that the state pays it. I think it comes out of I don't even know if it comes out of the Ministry of National Security, because the AG is the one that sued it.
Yeah, well,
you know what is my biggest
tell us
concern?
where the money does come from.
You know what's my biggest concern, just before we bring in the guests? That the fact that how many appearances must a police officer miss in court before a judge or magistrate decide that I've had enough, let me dismiss this? Because is it subjective?
Well, you have somebody who will answer all those questions for you just now. So let me give you the results on the poll, right? 63 people on the poll this morning, and everybody saying yes, 100% yes this morning. All right? So that is our poll.
All right. But I can't see him disagreeing with that point that this morning. I don't see him disagreeing with it. Bring him in.
All right, let's go to our Let's Talk segment. He's here.
Well, I'll surprise you.
You dress up in fatigues.
You know, I can't wear that in Trinidad because I was locked up.
Good morning, Gary Griffith. Thanks for
Good morning.
Show.
My pleasure. Good morning.
All right. Well, I guess we could go straight into the poll with you.
Sure.
And our question this morning: do you think police officers should be held personally responsible for failed criminal cases?
Yeah, sure. Good morning again. So I'll shock you with my answer. I mean, look, obviously, I agree 100%. When I was Commissioner of Police and Minister of National Security, I pushed this heavily. As Commissioner of Police, guess where I got the pushback from? The police service, obviously. And the Welfare Association went after me with guns blazing when I made public statements that the police you should be accountable if it is that there are certain matters pertaining to negligence, malicious action, incompetence, and so forth. And I'll give you but there's a but here, and I listen 300%. Let us be very careful how we do this. This must not include, for example, a police officer is in hot pursuit after a criminal and he crashes into another person's car. The person can and should not sue the police officer, and the police must now pay for the repair of that vehicle. Understand my point? The police is involved in armed conflict with someone else. They're firing at each other, and then the police will fire a shot. It might probably ricochet and hit someone. You cannot and should not sue the police officer because in other words, the actions of the officer must be one where it is that he is actually doing it with the perception that he is operating within the law and he's assisting the state. So if there are extenuating circumstances that happen after, the state has to compensate the person who damaged his vehicle because the police was in hot pursuit. So if at any time we decide to go wide and there's damage to property or whatever, based on the police operating in the line of duty, based on his good conscience, what is going to happen is the police officer is now going to second guess his action. He's going to hold on operating that trigger. That could be the difference between life and death. He's going to hold in hot pursuit because he doesn't want to crash a vehicle. So it must not be based on the police officer operating in good judgment and with honesty in him believing that he's doing something within the law to assist the state. When it comes, the point that I agree that he should be culpable. Listen, I bought 2 brand new vehicles for Shogunas Police Station. 3 days later, I'm looking at the operations center and these 2 vehicles racing going 100 kilometers an hour. We have GPS on it. They remove all of that. So they're going back to racing and all of that. And they crashed the 2 vehicles. And it was not hot pursuit. There was no 999 call. Because it was brand new vehicles. They should pay. And that is what they should pay for. Why must the taxpayer have to buy 2 brand new vehicles because 2 idiots decided to go racing because it was 2 brand new vehicles? If it is police officers, for example, look at the situation in Barbados. And so, the citizens want to have this change. But look at it. In Barbados, a judge stated he cannot understand how persons can still be remaining in the police service and they should have been on suspension. Instead, the Police Service Commission say, we'll be promoting that person to be Deputy Commissioner of Police. That is what we have to encounter. And then we go again. A Commissioner of Police was arrested and charged by a junior officer because he was so ignorant of the law. He didn't understand that she had authority to sign and approve a weapon. He saw it as a sniper weapon, so he saw it as a weapon that is illegal. And she had authority. You have embarrassed the Commissioner of Police. Taxpayers are not going to have to pay for the damage done to the Commissioner of Police. It embarrassed the service. And he's not, and instead, the man is still in the legal department of the police service. So from the Police Service Commission, they alone should have resigned after promoting that person after what the judge stated. That legal officer who arrested Earl Christopher should have been removed. So there's absolutely nothing, and when there are no consequences, it allows police officers to do this. So I agree, yes, but it must be only if police officers are negligent, if it's malicious. So a police officer blindly beating a man to submission after the person is no longer a threat. The minimum use of force policy has now gone over. He should pay for the medical of that person because the person is no longer a threat. So you have to look at it in case by case basis rather than just say anytime it is police damage property or hurt someone, he must pay.
Right. So when Gary, you juxtapose all these incidents and including the one given by Senator Lalit yesterday in the Senate, I don't know if you heard about an abusive police officer by the Parliament. You understand? When you take all these things and we would have had a former police officer calling early on and speak about an incident with the former Commissioner of Police Stephen Williams and his encounter at a police station. When you put all these things together and you now bring a bill to the Parliament to give these police officers even more power now in special zones, let me hear your analysis on that.
All right, well, I could give an example. You know, the sad thing, gentlemen, is if I say something that supports the government, you're looking for a walk. If I say something that supports the opposition, it's sour grapes. And the people who say that is because they have limited intellectual ability to actually debate. I bring points and facts not to please anyone. In this situation, I could give an example, gentlemen. You're a principal, and the principal gives a teacher, you have full authority to beat children in the school from Form 1 to Form 6. Teacher says, okay. And you have that authority. And then after a few months, he beats no one. And then the principal says, okay, you could only have that authority for Form 2s. And then all of a sudden, people have a concern. They say, oh, you see, you don't like preteens. The point being is that ZOSO has the same power and authority of the state of emergency. You could hold persons indefinitely. You could enter homes and search property without a warrant. You could call a curfew when you want. So the state of emergency was something that was done by two governments over 14 months. There was absolutely no abuse of authority. The zone of special operations is a watered-down version of the state of emergency. So it is the same powers, the same authority, the same things that the police and the law enforcement agencies had with the state of emergency. And now it is watered down. Now there's a concern. The concern should have been from state of emergency. This is not for me to say that I am supporting, I find government should have ZOSO and SOE. I said as National Security Advisor, when the Prime Minister asked me, I said, I do not believe a state of emergency should be used as a crime-fighting tool. As Minister of National Security, I implemented a zone of special operation in Laventille. For 3 months, there was one murder, I think it was of domestic violence. Every citizen in Laventille said it was the safest they ever felt. My biggest critic, Fitzgerald Hines, actually stated that he was very impressed and commended me for what I did. I put a zone of special operation without a proclamation by the president, and it worked, so it helped. But in this situation, for persons to feel comfortable, it goes right back, gentlemen, to the failure of 3 commissioners, inclusive of this one, refusing to enforce the mandatory standard operational procedure I put in the standing orders for the use of body cameras. If you put that body camera as mandatory, it is going to diminish greatly the fear that certain persons may have, and they may rightly so have fear about it. The body cameras are there. There are more than enough body cameras to be utilized to ensure every police officer has a body camera in an operation. And unfortunately, this present commissioner is refusing to adhere to the standard. There's a standing order. If you do not use the body camera in a patrol, in a roadblock, in a warrant, in an operation, you are to be disciplined. It is not being used. And if it is used and it is mandatory, I think it will take away a lot of the concern for ZOSO.
Well, I'll let Richard jump in here because I know Richard, when he read the rules or regulations or whatever it is, has something to say about those body cameras because I can't be fed up on now talking body cameras. Absolutely.
Well, in the current act, actually, the act before, the bill before Parliament, it's not an act at this point.
The bill.
It does have a provision for body cameras, but it gives the Commissioner of Police and the Chief of Defense Staff the leeway that they could not use it. How it's worded. In other words, it's saying they should wear it, but if circumstances are that they don't have to allow it, there is a loophole.
Yeah, so Richard, and that is total nonsense. Nowhere in the world, SWAT, any operation with law enforcement, it's mandatory where the body cameras. The police are deliberately, the hierarchy of the police are deliberately trying to cover rogue police officers. And it took me a lot. It took me a while. Don't get me wrong. When police officers never had these body cameras before, I couldn't understand it. The Stephen Williams and the James Filbert, they were dinosaur era. They didn't understand the importance of body cameras. I had to buy into the police officers and say, hey, this is not to catch you, This is to make sure when you wear it, and the lady with the towel ball and all, you're too wicked. You could have the protection to know that they lie, because 5 and 6 people could lie about you, and then you could be incarcerated. You could be found guilty. The body camera is there to protect you if it is you did the right thing. It is there to target you if it is you do the wrong thing. So the only police officer that should have a problem with a body camera is a police officer who has deliberate intent to abuse his authority. So, as I said, it is a standing order. It is a mandatory procedure that you must wear the body camera. The present Commissioner of Police is refusing. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to fool the country into believing we don't have enough. The 1,200 I got was more than enough, because you don't have more than 1,000 police officers on operational duty at any one time. Giving every police officer an issue is total nonsense. They have an issue and they leave it in their house and they don't use it. What we did is, every time you have to go on a patrol, a roadblock, an operation, a warrant, you sign for it, you have to, and when you return it, we test it. We had a unit testing to see if you turned it on or you turned it off. So, because the only way you can know that they are accountable is by taking it back and viewing what was recorded. And if it's realized he was on a 2-hour patrol and we see recording for 15 minutes, bam, we could bust your throat now. That is how it is done. There's nothing stopping this Commissioner of Police from making it mandatory to have the body cameras. Failure to do that, it means that you deliberately want police officers to do the wrong thing and cover for them.
And that is the concern of ZOSO. That is the concern of people in these different communities now about what could possibly happen. And you would have heard that concern being expressed by quite a few of senators yesterday, not just independent, but opposition senators also.
Yeah, and you're correct. But as I said, where was that concern with the state of emergency? Because the same authority that the police have for ZOSO, they will have under the state of emergency, and there was no abuse. Now, because there was no abuse, it doesn't mean that because of this now there may not be, which is why it must be mandatory. Anytime you have this commissioner backpedaling and refusing to utilize the body cameras, there is a need for concern. And this is not a government thing. This is a police situation. The Commissioner of Police by right adhere to the standing orders I left. The standing orders, they are there. It is mandatory.
But Gary, you self admitted just now, and this is what we discussed also on the breakfast show. What prevented the police officers, the TTPS/Defense Force, from doing exactly what you said you did without a state of emergency or ZOSO? What prevented them from collecting the intelligence, going into areas and actually dealing with the criminal element? What prevents them from doing that?
It's easy, and this is not in any way to knock people. The Minister of Homeland Security, remember, Roger Alexander, the role of a Minister of National Security or Homeland Security is to come up with policies, tools, equipment, technology, units. When Fitzgerald Hines said that is not his role is a chief financial officer to give money to the thing. It shows his ignorance in understanding. Likewise with the Commissioner of Police. So when I was Minister of National Security or Commissioner of Police, you don't need a state of emergency if it is that you have the expertise and knowledge to think out of the box and come up with units, policies, technology, equipment, such as the National Operations Center, the Operational Command Center, Police Marine Branch, Community Comfort Patrol, the Rapid Response Unit, the Emergency Response Patrol, body cameras, tasers, pepper spray, online reporting, the police app, GPS. So we pumped over 100 policies, units, technology. Because of that, in 2014, we had less than 400 murders, almost the same as a whole year with a state of emergency. And the reason being is that we had systems and units and technology to peg back the criminals and provide that fear, provide that deterrent. In the absence of, because remember, in the last year now, we have a minister and a commissioner. Remember, both of them were middle management. When I hear the nonsense, people say, well, no, Roger Alexander has lots of experience. Gentlemen, that's like a man being a plumber fixing toilets for 30 years. So you say, well, because of that, he has experience now to be the chief engineer for an aircraft carrier. You don't. He was middle management, so he doesn't understand. And this is not to knock him. It's just horses for courses. So in the absence of them not coming up with units, technology, equipment, policies, the government was left with no choice. If the government did not have a state of emergency, we would have gone with 600 murders again. So is it that we saved 300 lives, the end justifies the mean? The government was forced to do that in the absence of the two senior people in national security having any knowledge or experience. Remember, for a whole year now, not one new policy, not one new unit, not one piece of technology. A few years ago, we had 12 kidnappings. All 12 kidnappings, Mark Hernandez and Sort, kicked down the doors, slammed the kidnappers on the ground, rescued the victim. That is now they're paying the ransom, telling the person where to find the victim, and then the police call it an intelligence-driven operation. So that therein lies the problem. That's why the government was forced to go SOE. So the SOE has been used in the absence of those in authority having the capability to provide new systems and new policies. And this is not to knock the UNC. The PNM for 10 years, they provided no new unit system policy. I did it as commissioner. The last time we saw that was under Patrick Manning. You saw OPV, you saw Blimp, you saw SORT. You saw it with Kamala Prasad-Visesla in the People's Partnership. When I was Minister of National Security with the Community Comfort Patrol, the National Security Special Operation Group, the damning vessels, and so forth. In the last year, there's been nothing. So the government has been forced to do what is required to protect the citizens of this country.
Richard?
I wanted to touch on the issue of the logging of ammunition and firearms with the Trinidad and Tobago Forensic Science Center. That's also a clause in the bill that says all of the ammunition that is going to be used during the operation at the zone, in the specific zone, needs to be logged with the Trinidad and Tobago Forensic Science Center, as well as the ammunition, right? But there's also a kind of loophole in the clause that says that the Chief of Defense Staff and the Commissioner of Police could not, I'm paraphrasing here, of course, but could not do it if circumstances so warrant. It doesn't really say it exactly like that, but it gives them a loophole that, so on one hand, the bill says you have to log it unless the COP and the CDS have a reason not to log it.
Say otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I don't see a reason for it, because it goes right back to when Fitzgerald Hines was making his ridiculous comments accusing the police of giving out ammunition to FUL holders, which was a blatant lie. But we found the ammunition shells being that of the Defense Force over and over constantly. So you saw where the problem lies. In this situation, if it is we're looking at accountability, and if at any time there's any operation, you can easily now pinpoint any zone of special operation with the ammunition being used, the weapons being used, being properly logged. So you know that anything that is fired, anything that is utilized, it must be logged, registered, so that at no time anyone outside of the purview of what was given in ZOSO, based on equipment, ammunition, weapons, can be used that can cause a problem. So it all goes with accountability. Anytime you start putting these little loopholes, it will leave persons to wonder, what is the real plan there? What it is you're trying to do?
And that's exactly what is happening with the citizens. They are concerned about the abuses because, as I said, you would have heard the contributions in the Senate yesterday. They are concerned about police abuse, and rightly so.
Yeah, and again, Wendell, it all goes back to policing. I mean, what I've seen with this commissioner, the one thing he wants to try to be aggressive, but every comment he makes is about locking up people. Notice it is about, I have handcuffs, jail not nice, I have space for all in the cell, I will arrest you. That's real old-time 1970s policing he's coming back with. You feel that the rule and that is where what is happening now is the police officers, and this is my point. ZOSO is not the problem. It is making sure that there are proper systems to measure the performance and make police officers accountable. We're not seeing that. We've gone back to this nonsense of this two words called zero tolerance. I remember when I brought in Rudy Giuliani to Trinidad and Tobago and the previous commissioner, Bill Bratton, they rubbished it. Every incident, you must have some degree of tolerance to analyze the situation. What we're getting now is police officers abusing people, and not the one operation policy by the minister and the commissioner is roadblocks. We are trying to roadblock our way to solve crime. That is not how it's done. And the police officers are not, there's no 482 Gary, there's no online reporting, there's no police app. Police officers now, we have numerous reports of them being abusive, aggressive, and there's no body camera being worn as mandatory. I'd say just recently in Arapita Avenue, a young man, his insurance expired 2 days ago. The insurance didn't call him. Yes, it was a fault. But you want the police officer arrogant. I don't care. Pay the bill. For this boy to pay $10,000, which equates to the same amount people pay for bail with an illegal firearm. Sometimes you need a degree. That's what, when you notice in my situation, a few moments later, it wasn't just to make people laugh, Every single one, I would release the individuals and bam, they become my confidential informant. And those same individuals will thank me, they will remember me, they will be giving me information. That is how you do intelligence-driven policing. You get people in the underworld trained like our job is just to lock up and arrest and handcuff. That is not the way to go. And if it is at this type of policing which has returned, that is why in 2021, public trust in the police service was 69%. Now it's less than 8%. It has to do not with Gary Griffith, but systems to measure their performance, make them accountable, and making sure that police officers understand how to operate. If that does not happen, there is going to be a concern for ZOSO. And this is not a government situation. This is a commissioner of police situation. You need to start calming down the police officers because some of them have gone. Look at the situation with that video. Police officers beating a man to a frazzle. Those officers, that's a typical, they should all pay for the medical bills for that individual. But nothing is going to happen. They will probably graduate, go out there as police officers, nothing will be done. And this is where I speak about the importance of measuring performance and making officers accountable. If that is done, ZOSO can be effective. Because as I said, I did it in lab until it worked. Let me also add, there's an important point. They are using ZOSO, Richard and Randall, they are using ZOSO specifically to look at areas of crime. So when people say, well, they're going into PNM areas, not anymore. Because when you look at crime statistics, you're seeing a lot more crime now with violent crime in Central, in Marabella, in the train line, which are UNC constituencies. So if it is you're just using a template of where you're going to have these operations based on violent crime, it is going to be balanced. My point is, that is what is called setting field for bad bowling. We saw where the crime is, so let's put the officers there. The criminals will just deflect crime. Yeah. What is required is to utilize ZOSO, but again, the commissioner and the minister, they're not trained at that high level to understand unified law enforcement, intelligence-driven policing. You're supposed to utilize ZOSO to pinpoint the gang leaders where they may stay. Many of them stay in residential areas, in posh areas, gated communities. Use that as the opportunity to target those gang leaders, those persons involved in white-collar crime. Raid the house, seize the computer, take the documents, pinpoint the gangs who have the information to be able to utilize the data to target them for charges for gang-related activity or to link to murders or whatever. But all that they're going to do, based on old-time policing, is to look at where the crime is and decide to put ZOSO there. Another perfect example is the situation with US and Venezuela. We have trivialized, well, we have seen that as a back burner now because we're focused on ZOSO. If Venezuela turns to civil war, heaven forbid, you're going to get a couple 100,000 Venezuelans landed in our country. And that is going to affect health, our economy, education, housing, and above all, national security. It can cripple this country. We will not be able to get them out because they will go with asylum, they will talk refugee status. We should put ZOSO in that area there to have every Coast Guard vessel available for trying to prevent individuals from entering Trinidad, because once they enter, Trinidad is going to pay a very big price. And ZOSO has not taken that into consideration because the bill says that a major of the defense force can lead, not a lieutenant commander. That is the equivalent in Coast Guard. So there's no concept that ZOSO could be used to lock down a rig, an island down the islands, certain vessels, or the space between the mainland and Trinidad. So those are the things that there must be out of the box thinking, but you're unable to do that because of the persons who hold national security positions. They don't have that seniority to understand, or that exposure experience to understand how to utilize it properly.
Yeah, but you're going around using all kind of words except intelligence. They don't have the intelligence. That's what you need to say.
Yeah.
I actually, just for reference, I actually found the clause. It says weapons, including the ballistic signature and ammunition assigned to members of the joint force, shall be registered with the Trinidad and Tobago Forensic Science Center prior to the conduct of operations within the zones, unless the Chief of Defense Staff or the Commissioner of Police determine otherwise.
Yeah, there's no need to do so. It's accountability. Nowhere in the world you can say that ammunition should not be accounted for, and you could have side ammunition that could be used without it being accounted for. It gives the impression that you want to use this to target persons and then not have to be able to account to say that this could be linked to the police or the defense force. It is wrong. There's absolutely no justification or excuse to justify that clause being put in there. That gives the impression that you have some clandestine unit that will have ammunition and weapons that can be involved in some type of act to do something outside of the law. There must be accountability. Anytime you start putting something like that, it will give that impression. And I can't think of anything. I've been a commissioner of police previously and minister. Why you would want to have special ammunition not accounted for?
Yeah. But Gary, that's where we're gonna have to leave it for today, because we do have a karaoke segment coming up. But we will be talking with you again. Thanks for joining us once again on the Breakfast Show. All right.
My pleasure. Take care.
Take care. All right. Of course, that was former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, former Minister of National Security, joining us and weighing in on ZOSO. All right.
Yep.
And of course, well, we go straight. Who's there? Who's there? Anybody there? Hello?
I'm right here.
No, I was trying to find out who's there. If it's CJ or RJ.
I think it's CJ. I think it's
or JJ. I don't know how much J's Charles have in the family dinner. You know, so we can go straight into the karaoke segment, and then we go to news. All right. So karaoke is up next. Richard searching.
Hey you. Yes you. Hey you. Yes you. I'm talking to you. So you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival karaoke. Carnival karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Sing, man, sing.
So Carnival karaoke is officially open.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll open up the lines at this point, and of course you will have to either sing a cappella or you can sing with your music in the background. We can't provide the music for you. All is supposed to know that by now. Let me just bring up the numbers so that people can see the numbers to call.
Karen, morning. How are you going?
I'm in the studio today, fellas.
All right, we have somebody?
Yeah, we have somebody here today.
All right, bring them in. Let them introduce themselves. Say, good morning, Uncle Richard and Uncle Wendell. My name is so-and-so, and I am here to sing.
Hey, hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello? Caller? Ms. Mendoza, you shy this morning?
Yeah, hello. I heard somebody saying hello.
Hello?
Yes, we hearing you.
You hearing me?
Yes, what's your name?
Good morning, Uncle Richard and Uncle Wendell and Uncle Sir Charles. I am Joanne.
Your name is Joanne. Okay, Joanne, where are you calling from?
I'm Joanne from Mount Hope.
Joanne from Mount Hope. All right, Joanne from Mount Hope. What are you doing for us this morning?
I want to sing short shirt, nobody go run me.
Oh, nice tune. Go right ahead, Joanne. You doing it with music or you doing it a cappella?
I have a little music here.
All right. So go ahead. Go right ahead.
Go ahead with your music.
Night and day I catching hell. People think I'm doing well just because I sing a few calypso. But that is my misery. Calypso don't make money. But most of them don't know that I have my axe to grind, just like any other man. It's a sin in poverty and this giant ghetto land. But I intend to hang on. Tell them, I'm in no ties. I ain't gonna eat rice. I ain't gonna grow sitting in the cold, not me, no way, no. They gonna have to beat me, they gonna have to eat me, or their heads go roll. Tell them I say, I was born in this land, I go die in this land, nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, Lord, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me. Me mama must nyam. Me papa must nyam, me woman must nyam, me pickney must nyam. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, Lord, nobody go run me. Thank you.
All right, Joanne, well done, 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 Joanne. All right, you know, just a little history, if I remember carefully, and people from back in the day. There was a year Short Shirt sang a song, and it was the most popular song on the road. But because he was a foreigner, he couldn't win road match. But everybody was playing this tune and singing the song. And he would have won road match, except that he wasn't a local. I remember that. I don't know why I remember something like that. Somebody, only correct me if I'm wrong. Short Shirt should have won road match a year, except it wasn't for foreigners. It was only for locals. All right. Do we have anybody else? CJ?
Yeah. So Joanne, well done, Joanne. Joanna was pretty well done, and the music was nice and vibrant in the background.
Yes.
Yes,
we heard the music.
So people in the audience, people in the comment section, you are also part of the judging. So we have 3 judges, Wendell, you, and myself. So you all can decide. We'll decide who is the winner. So you all can vote. We bring in you all into the voting system too.
What?
So we have a second person at the line here, 2811315, 2811315. It's Carnival karaoke.
Short Shirt. What was his song, boy? He sang a year and it was the most popular thing on the road. You have somebody there, CJ?
Yes, good morning, CJ.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wangina. Good morning, Richard.
Morning. Ms. Mendoza.
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. I'm Valerie. And I'm going to do Moderators, Gavaska.
All right. You're singing a cappella or you're singing the music?
A cappella. I'm doing a cappella.
All right. Go.
All right.
Take it away.
Start as soon as you're ready.
A lovely day for cricket. Blue skies and gentle breeze. The Indians are awaiting now to play the West Indies. A signal from the umpire. Play is about to start. The cricketers come on the field. They all look very smart. Irapali Prasana, Gigi Boy and Wadeka, Krishnamurti and Fish Moonman Gat. Them boys could well play cricket on any kind of wickets. They made the West Indies team look so bad. We was in all kind of trouble. Joey Carew pull a muscle. Clive Lord get about 3 run out. We was in trouble without a doubt. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, they couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know, the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Thank you, Miss Mendoza. You were very clear and concise. Woo. I don't know why we're getting all these brilliant contributions. And thanks for the information. It was Tourist Lego by Short Shirt. That tune was the most popular tune in Trinidad and Tobago that year. Thanks, Brennan, Kazim, and Ron DeSantis.
Well, all of that was before I was born. But anyway, but we have two contestants, Joanne and Valerie, and of course, we can decide whose name goes into the box. We can also, as we said, we also letting the people in the comment section also be part of the judging panel, so they can vote on who they think should get into the box.
All right, so we're taking 5 votes from people in the comment section, because I hard press whenever I hear 2 people sing good, right? So we have Suzanne Jessup saying, I'm going with the first caller. Joanne saying contestant number 1. Jason Samuel saying contestant number 1. Lenley saying contestant number 1. Jason saying contestant number 1. Cheryl Henry saying both of them. Mrs. R saying contestant number 1. So what say you, Richard Raghubar Singh?
And I thought they were both good, both valiant attempts.
Yes.
I would maybe I would give Joanne. Maybe I'd give Joanne the edge over Valerie.
All right.
What's your take, Wendell? You have to vote too.
No, I'm satisfied with both people now. I don't know why.
No. You have to choose. You have to choose one. If you're a judge, be a judge. Man up.
If I had to be a judge, I would go with number 1, the Tourist Lego tune, which is a harder song to sing, and she sang it with music. You understand? Miss Mendoza, I know, will try again, because I know it took a lot for her to...
She didn't sing Tourist Lego, eh?
No, I know she didn't sing Tourist Lego, but it's still a hard song. That Church is not an easy song to sing either. You understand? But I know Miss Mendoza will come back strong again. Now that she has broken that fear of competing, because she was afraid all the time, But she said this morning from first jump, she's doing karaoke today.
Yeah.
You know?
And she was good. Yeah,
she was good. She was good. Yeah. Because Gavaskar is one of my favorites too. I know the song by heart. You know? But a lot of people are voting for both of them, or either one. You know, it's kind of split in the chat.
Yeah, some people are saying both. So we have to make a decision, and CJ has to record it. So what is the decision, Wendell? It's up to you now.
It's up to me, yes. You're a setup man, yes. You're a lawyer. All right, well, I'll go with your recommendation, Richard. Number 1. We'll go with number 1 today. Joanne from Mount Hope. And we hope to hear from Valerie. I want to hear from Kazim again, too. See that Kazim Peyton Place thing there and thing? I want to hear from him again. Right? So we will take, CJ, you'll record Joanne from Mount Hope as the winner today. Right? And we invite all the people who have participated and have not been selected to try again. You understand?
All right. Well, news is next. We'll be right back.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV for Thursday, the 22nd of January. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Energy and Energy Industries Minister Dr. Rudal Munalal says he will attend India Energy Week next week, following Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissesar's decision to boycott the Trinidad and Tobago Energy Conference. Munalal is a confirmed speaker at the 4-day global event in Goa, where he says he will promote Trinidad and Tobago as a destination for foreign investment in oil and gas, particularly as local production continues to decline. He backed the Prime Minister's stance, citing government concerns over the STOW certification system, which he said unfairly burdens small local contractors and restricts access to the energy sector. Munawal added that the state will not participate in the local energy conference unless there is fundamental reform of current arrangements. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has refused a Freedom of Information request seeking a clear list of traffic offenses affected by recently increased fines, despite widespread public confusion. The request asked for a simple breakdown showing each offense, the old fine, the new fine, and the legal reference. Instead, the ministry said the information was already publicly available in the Gazette and the Digital Legislative Library. However, the legal notices list only item numbers and fines, forcing motorists to cross-reference multiple laws to understand what applies. Opposition Senator Dr. Amory Brown criticized the lack of clear communication in the Senate, calling it an unmitigated disaster that has fueled suspicion among the public. Transport Minister Eli Zakor has said the higher fines were based on enforcement data, showing serious indiscipline on the nation's roads. President of the Criminal Bar Association, Israel Khan, SC, says Trinidad and Tobago can benefit from the proposed Zones of Special Operations legislation and has urged independent senators to support it. Khan said the country is under siege by criminals and argued the bill targets criminal activity, not communities or races. He dismissed claims of discrimination, saying ZOSOs focus on crime hotspots. Assembly of Southern Lawyers President Syra Lacan said crime in Trinidad and Tobago is concentrated in specific areas linked to gangs, drugs, and firearms trafficking. She supports the bill, but stressed it must include time limits, transparency, community engagement, and strong oversight. Senior counsel John Heath urged caution, warning that like states of emergency, ZOSOs risk detaining people without sufficient evidence. He said while government must try new approaches, citizens' rights must not be trampled. As fighting moves closer to camps holding Trinidad and Tobago nationals in northeast Syria, messages circulating online describe growing fear and worsening conditions. In a voice note, a Trinidad and Tobago national says electricity has been cut after generators paid for by residents were removed, leaving families without power, heat, or reliable communication. The speaker warns the fighting is close and says many have lost hope of rescue. Relatives in Trinidad and Tobago say the situation is dire, especially with winter conditions, and reports that control of the camps may be shifting from the Syrian Democratic Forces to the Syrian government. Families believe this change could open the door to diplomatic engagement and repatriation, but say they have received no official response from local authorities up to press time. A man accused of a series of vehicle thefts has been denied bail after appearing before the High Court this week. Caron Delicia, also known as Takbir and Greedy, appeared before Master Ria Liebert at the Chaguanas Masters Court on Monday and Tuesday, charged with 25 counts of motor vehicle larceny. The charges stem from 24 incidents in 2025 and 1 in 2026, all reported within the Central Division. Delicia was not required to plead and was remanded in custody. The case has been adjourned to June 2, 2026. Police said the arrest followed extensive investigations by the Chaguanas CID, coordinated by senior officers, with the Commissioner of Police praising the work that led to the charges. In international news, Iranian state television has released its first official death toll from recent nationwide protests, saying 3,117 people were killed during demonstrations that began in late December. Authorities claimed 2,427 of the dead were civilians and security forces, while blaming what they described as terrorists for the violence. Human rights groups based outside Iran estimate the death toll is significantly higher, at more than 4,500, though this cannot be independently verified. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi issued his strongest warning yet to the United States, saying Iran would fire back with everything we have if attacked again. His comments come amid growing U.S. military movements toward the Middle East, raising fears of wider regional escalation. And that's the main stories in the news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Hey you! Yes you! I'm talking to you. So you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival karaoke. Carnival karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
All right, we are back. I don't know if you saw the non-welcome that Donald Trump got when he arrived in Davos.
Oh, yes. was that real? I saw it. Yes, I saw it yesterday, and I was like, "Is this real or is this AI?" I wasn't sure.
No, it's real. Nobody wants to be around him anymore. I mean, he is unhinged. Unhinged with the things he's saying. You heard the things he said about China and the windmills? And I mean, he's just going on and on and on, saying some of the most ridiculous things. And nobody like people just realize, oh, that this man is not normal. Let me just ask him nothing. Let me just tell him nothing again. You understand? He's unhinged. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. The world is a different place now.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we can open up the lines because we talk enough for the morning, so we can open up the lines at this point. So 281-1315, 281-1315. I can bring up the numbers just in case you all forgot it, and you can weigh in. Of course, I'm not sure, Wendell. I know we mentioned it earlier concerning the ZOSO, whether it's on today or Friday. I'm not sure.
The vote, I think it's today.
The vote. I don't know why I think it's Friday, but I don't know if anybody in the comment section can weigh in on that and let us know.
Based on the headline in one of the newspapers, and I'll pull it up because for the avoidance of doubt, I think I would have read it. I would have done the Express on the Newsday. So I think it was in the Express headlines that says all eyes on independent senators. And I'll just read a little part of it. It says Trinidad and Tobago will know tomorrow, so that, well, you might be right because it's in today's papers, if the government has secured the votes it requires from the independent bench. Debate on the law reforms zones of special operations began late on Tuesday and continued yesterday. The bill was passed in the lower house on Friday. All right. So you're probably right, based on the article coming out today, that you'll know the results tomorrow. You might be right. That it finishes on Friday. You might be right. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Because but of course you can continue to weigh in, and of course I'm an advocate that bill should not be passed. And also I find the attitude of the Prime Minister and how she berated the independent senators very unattractive. And I mean, you would have spoken about that, but very unattractive, not becoming the position she holds. Then how you speak to people who sit in that esteemed house, and for that reason alone, it indicates to me a kind of tendency to brashness, and that I must get my own way, which is reason enough to not pass a bill like this that expands the power of the police in certain areas and gives you the power as Prime Minister to call a zone in any area.
Well, strange enough, Richard, one of the temporary independent senators, I think Mr. Billy referred to him this morning, he kind of already indicated he's supporting it, with a caveat, of course, that it has a sunset clause of 3 to 5 years. I think it already has that. That it's not to go beyond 3 years. So he is somebody who's sitting in for somebody has already indicated they're going to support it. Based on I listened to it yesterday, so we'll see where it goes. Of course, tomorrow on our culture corner, our guest will be the NCC chairman, Peter Kanai. He will weigh in on some issues in our culture corner, which is our feature tomorrow. All right? So look out for that. All right?
You have a call on the line, John.
Let's take the call.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Miss Mendoza.
Yes.
But I know you're not going to give up on us and give up on karaoke.
I just put in it for fun, but I find I sounded well, and I find I sounded good. I taped myself many times, and it was. But when it's supposed to be a verse and a chorus, not so?
A verse and a chorus, yes.
Right. Okay. All right. Because the first caller it was on. Anyway, I listened to part of the debate yesterday in the Senate, and if all of the independent senators I'm more fixed on, because I don't know what the PLM will say, but some of the independent senators gave strong points, like the day before, like they referenced what took place when Jamaica used that we copied it from, right? They referenced it, and they said some of the things that Jamaica used to get it down to what their crime rate is now. That is not there. And Jamaica started seeing results like 7 years after that, So there are things that they have to do, like, the main thing what Dr. Axe and Dr. Murray said, the social part of it, because it's not just you have a ZOSO and you lock down a place and you just leave the people in limbo. There must be education, there must be some kind of social thing to help the situation. because during that and after how many years or whatever time, it hasn't been fixed. You figure you get rid of the criminals? No, it's our young ones behind. You're not going to help that if you don't do the social part of it. So that was what they were saying too. So I will watch it today. I guess it will finish today. No, I don't think it will be going on until tomorrow, please God. Because it might finish late into the night. After 11, it finished yesterday, last night. So I guess it will finish today. Unless every one of the government senators speak and every one of the PNM senators speak. It's the next 2 o'clock in the morning. So my next point is this. The defense minister, he was saying something, and I figured he didn't understand that. He was saying there's no, if some people lose some rights, lose some of their rights, that is not a problem. I'm not sure if I understand it that way.
Yeah, you're right. He said some disturbing things last night, and I
found Prime Minister and you need government. So if you try to get people to vote for something and you're telling us that you can lose some rights because, well, then something is wrong. What would you do when the thing really gets into action, when it is implemented? We're going to lose rights? What is some rights? What is some? So Richard, explain that for me now, please. Or have a wonderful day.
Yeah, take care, Ms. Mendoza.
I'm trying again.
I know you'll try again. He also referenced the Minister of Defense, the committee that was set up, and he pointed to, he made it come across, and he said that in case you're disturbed, he called Jerlene John's name, Sean Sober's name, the Defense Minister, Wayne Sturge, the Homeland Security Minister, Roger Alexander, and some other person. And then he said, and in case you're worried about the East Indian, we have the Justice Minister, Dema. And I found that was so inappropriate. Why would you, as a committee is a committee. You gone down the race road, you raising that race boogie yourself.
I just wanted to clarify something in case people are in doubt, because you mentioned something just now, Wendell, saying that it already has that, it have a 3-year review. No, that 3-year review is not a sunset clause.
Oh.
So I want people to not to be confused. That is not a sunset clause. It does not expire the act, which is what a sunset clause does. Okay? Right. So be very clear on what that review clause says. In clause 28, which is what in the bill, it says, this act shall be reviewed from time to time by a committee of both houses of parliament appointed for the purpose. The first such review shall be conducted not later than 3 years after the date of declaration of the first zone. So there's a review.
It doesn't end there.
No. It's just a review and review by both houses of parliament. Both houses of parliament just means they're just looking at the act. They're not doing anything about it. Vis-a-vis a sunset clause, which gives an expiry date to the act.
Okay. All right. Well, so I think that's what the independent senator was calling for.
Yeah, there's a difference. Now, I don't know if the state is coming with certain amendments that have more oversight, because, of course, you know me, Wendell. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I don't believe either party in this country deserves a constitutional majority. But one does have it to a certain degree, except that they're stymied in 3/5 legislation by independent senators voting for you. That's
I
one.
don't know if you're...
And two, I do not believe that the position of Prime Minister should have unchecked power. This is not about Kamala Persad-Bissessar. As I said, there is no sunset clause, so that this act will continue to exist. I do not believe that the office holder of the position of the Prime Minister, I'm not zoning in specifically on the current holder, I'm just saying the holder of that position should not have the power to just call special zones without some check and balance against that. Which is why I had done my PowerPoint presentation at the onset, saying why I suggested that there should be a committee that has some sort of oversight, and you have to present the evidence to that committee to show why you want to call that zone, and that committee can say, no, we do not agree, and now you'll have to go to Parliament and get 2/3 of Parliament to vote that a zone should be called. That's called a check and balance, because because you're treating the disruption of citizens' constitutional rights with the kind of honor and integrity it deserves. Those rights are not glib. And I know some of you, like how the defense minister may have said yesterday, you'll give up something, or how Sir Charles say, well, I prefer to give up some of my rights. No. Those rights are sacrosanct in a particular way, and they're only given up in certain circumstances for certain defined periods because of some extraordinary event.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the statement of the Senate, the statement of the day went to Senator Vishnu Danpal, who said that Anil Roberts is a one-man hotspot zone. And he needs his own zone. He's a one-man crime hotspot. And needs his own zone. Well, that erupted the Senate yesterday.
We do have another call on the line.
All right, we have a call. Let's take it.
Oh, yeah. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center again, gentlemen. I have a question about Fantastic Friday or New Era Friday. You know, you guys should come up for a term for Fantastic Friday. Tell me something. You have a set number of contestants you want, and that day, I know it's our day and stuff, right? So you wouldn't have no interviews or anything. You think most of the show will be the contestants, final contestants?
No, that will only come to the end of the show. We'll do calls like normal. I mean, unless something extraneous happens, we'll do calls like normal and then do the competition down at the end in the second hour. That is.
Oh, okay. Right.
You want to send you want to send some prizes or what, Ron?
If I want,
you could go on Amazon now and ship down a box, you know.
Okay. That is okay. I have a bunch of some MAGA hats here. I could give some of you fellas.
MAGA hats.
Yeah, just kidding. All right. Listen, maybe you all will be able to inspire me enough. You know, that Fantastic Friday, I might jump a BB flight, come home, get a free doubles at the airport, and go down on the avenue by one of them mass camp, and maybe down by, one of them mass camp by
Rumbox. You gotta come by Rumbox.
Get costume by Wayne Barclay that same day, right? Is that?
Wayne Barclay, the man say yes.
What?
You had to come down by Rumbox. That's where you had to come.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll make sure I stop at Rumbox. All right. No problem. Later, guys.
Okay,
have a good day.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye. All right. Any more calls, CJ, before we close off?
We do have another caller here.
Dean Allen is saying, I feel ZOSO will pass as people generally believe in their hearts that this kind of policing works as no one is presenting alternative modules. Dean, I hope I hear you and we'll see where it goes. I'm not bothered by it. My area could be a ZOSO. Any area could be a ZOSO right now in Trinidad and Tobago. That's the reality.
We do have one more caller.
Yeah. Hello, good day.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
John, I would like you to sing a song with rhythm. And when people start to give up a little of their rights, or say they're going to give up some of their rights, they don't know how far people will go. They will take some today until they take all of your rights. I think they're trying to. I think just as how the government start when they come in office, I think they want to continue with the AI or the AAI. Or you try and figure out what they're trying to say. That is what they want to change the independent senators. They want to carry on with the AI or the AAI. You guys have a good day.
All right.
John, please sing a song with rhythm tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Joanne don't want to sing again. Joanne qualified. James Kamau, remember when Manning tried social intervention in crime? UNC said it was prejudicial, helping Africans. You're very right. And even Dr. Rowley, I don't know why they didn't follow through on some of the things that they said. Everybody that study, so what the other side will say. So what they will say, we trying to help you. But the people need help. If the people in these areas need help, then do it. At the end of the day, you're helping people. Oh, Lord. All that talk. That's why PNM sometimes, that's why their own supporters just pull back, It's not that there's going to vote against them, but there's pull back, which happened in the last election. Because the things you say you're doing, you ain't doing it. You're just talking. That's why some of them former ministers, I don't want to hear them, I don't listen to them, I'm sorry to say it, so I don't listen to them because they had an opportunity to help fix this place and help fix people and change their lives, and they did nothing. I don't want to hear them. I don't.
One more call on the line.
All right, I think we can wrap it up there. I don't know if Richard, you want to wrap up?
Constitutional democracy, the state does not only protect the agreeable. The government does not only govern the compliant. And Parliament does not exist merely to applaud. Independent senators were not appointed to be predictable. We were not appointed to be loyal. And we were certainly not appointed to be silent. Our role is to ask the uncomfortable questions, particularly when laws expand executive power, limit movement, or recalibrate the balance between security and liberty. And if that makes our contributions vapid, then I plead guilty. But on the firm understanding that vapidity in this context appears to mean independence of thought. Mr. President, let me reassure this Senate and the public at large that this independent bench will continue to do the dangerous work of thinking carefully, speaking plainly, and voting deliberately, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is unfashionable, and even when it is described as shallow. I thank you.
And I think that's where we could probably end the show today. So have a fantastic day. Whatever you do, remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. New Era TG Radio continues on NewEraTGRadio.com and New Era TG Radio on TuneIn. Thank you so much for joining us today. We know you have a choice, and we are glad that you chose us.
Folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. See you tomorrow.
All right. So you've been watching
The Breakfast Show.
Well, not only The Breakfast Show. Of course, the weekend begins tonight, people, on the second after midnight. Don't you forget it. Now I will say it, Wendell. You've been watching
The Breakfast Show.
Well done.
Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned.